Today on the Topping Show, Libs of TikTok goes viral for reporting a trans activist burning down a 117-year-old church. Biden's team posted Trans Day of Visibility, then they posted for Easter. Vivek tweets Christian Day of Visibility and goes viral. Anheuser-Busch farmer's tweet flops miserably. Tesla ad buys increased by more than 3,000%. Restaurants in California raise their prices after the minimum wage law goes into effect. And Ford to recall their vans because they sent tires that just don't fit. All of that and much, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day because I say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's a joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Tesla to increase their ad buys by 3,657%, which is quite an increase to say the least. Now, this is partially because Elon historically hates advertising. He thinks it's supposed to be a crapshoot, which it's hard to say it's not for most automotive brands. I would love to see what kind of data that Ford, General Motors, Toyota, all these companies have in regards to return on investment from like a Super Bowl ad or just throwing a car commercial on the TV. And how much of a direct correlation can you really have between one of the largest, typically the second most expensive complex thing a person will buy in their lifetime, second only to a house or I guess a college education? How are you going to say, oh yeah, I saw this commercial on the TV. What was that? The sports balls guy was driving a Lincoln. Oh, I'm going to buy that. Okay, what was that guy? No, that's the drug guy. Matthew McConaughey? Guy is perpetually high. Pretty sure he does the Lincoln commercials. Where a sports ball figure or Hollywood celebrity, they drive a car, I don't give a damn. I mean, anecdotally speaking, when I talk to most of my friends, when they decide, what car you're going to get, usually they have the criteria, the car must have A, B, and C. And for me, it'd have 3 pedals, also known as manual transmission, which is what every car should have by default. So it had to have 3 pedals, had to be a little bit fun, so ideally over 200 horsepower, still getting good fuel economy. I know that's a little bit of, trying to get the best of both worlds. And it had to be reliable. That didn't give me many options, so I ended up choosing the best that I thought, which was the Honda Civic Si, which only comes with a stick shift, as all cars should have by default. I wasn't persuaded by an advertisement. I don't even think Honda does ads for the Honda Civic Si. It's a specific trim level mainly made for enthusiasts. And Elon, it looks like they're going to backtrack. They're going to start spending a lot of money on advertisements. Now, it looks like this is specifically, they're talking about buying ads on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Now, granted, Elon owns X, so there's probably a little bit of incentive to give himself or the Tesla company maybe a little bit of a discount. And at that platform, that kind of makes sense because you're supporting both businesses in it. Now, they noted that they had increased their spending last year to, and again, this is per estimates by VivX, which terrible marketing, I can't even see the name right, VIVVIX. And it looks like they spent $6.4 million last year, which, again, for the average automotive company in general, for the industry, that's not a lot. But for Tesla, that's up from $175,000 that Tesla spent on ads in 2022. Now, granted, it looks like in terms of the kind of what they're emphasizing in the commercials, they're going to talk about a lot of the tax benefits, which is one of the main reasons electric vehicles even exist these days. I mean, you're getting $7,500 off a car. That's a big incentive to be pushed. Though, granted, when you have to replace the battery, that'll be, $10,000, $15,000, $25,000. But, a lot of people love their toys. Or they just have so much money, they don't care about the battery. Which is kind of like one of the reasons I like my Honda. If the engine ever does go bad, in the rare occasion it does, just go to the scrapyard and get a spare engine for a couple hundred, and in some cases, a couple $1,000. A little bit better of an ROI to me. Now, of course, this is partially because they're worried because they're missing some of their goals. It looks like Tesla's fourth quarter deliveries due out this week may fall short of 422,879 vehicles they reported a year ago. They know that it's not just facing weak demand, but also production issues due to an update to its Model 3 production in Fremont, California, and an arson attack in its Berlin plant. So it's going to be a crunch year for most businesses in 2024. unprecedented political and economic uncertainty. So a lot of people are going to probably be pulling back on these larger, more expensive luxury items, especially when you have interest rates, which again are fueled by the ineptitudes of people on the left and the right in government, causing hyperinflation. Now, if you buy a car, one of my neighbors just bought a car at 9% interest rate, which I could not fathom having that type of an interest rate on a vehicle. I understand sometimes people are in a bind, they need it, but I mean, not to be an old soul, but back in my day, it was sub 5%. And don't get me started on when they say it was 0% financing. It doesn't exist. They just move the money around. It makes you feel better though. It's marketing, but it is astonishing. I think there's going to be a decrease in most sales of products this in general. Now the question is, will these ads actually persuade people to buy the products? Again, I'm going to be pretty skeptical, but let me know, have you ever seen an automotive advertisement and said, you know what? I'm going to buy that Chevy because of that, or the Honda, or whatever you're buying. Did that advertisement really affect it? So I can't help but think most people are buying Teslas. There's that, the early adopters they're basically the big name in the game. They still have a majority of the market. But a lot of the early adopters already purchased a vehicle, given the sales cycle or the life cycle of the vehicle, maybe they're going to buy another one. But in terms of getting a new customer, which are the most difficult things to do in business, you have to spend astronomically more money to get a new customer versus retaining a customer, which is why, again, in business, just on a morality basis as well as doing the right thing, that's why you also want to treat your current customers like they're, the most important thing in the world, because they are. Because again, to get a new one is so preposterously difficult in many instances. So let me know, have you ever been influenced by purchasing a vehicle because of an advertisement? And do you think it will work for Elon and Tesla? As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, we're trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.